Hello, glad that you reached this video. Thank you for watching. This video tries to give some brief details about the APICS CPIM certification and most importantly tries to give an idea as to who should ideally take the CPIM certification, or in other words, who stands to gain the most from CPIM certification. It tries to give some details on what it entails, a little bit about the exam and where to go from here. I keep getting a lot of emails and calls from prospective students on these kind of questions and thought might as well make it clear for anyone interested to know. I sincerely hope this video will be helpful in your journey to achieve the coveted CPIM certification. So let's get to it. To start with, as you may already know, APICS Operations Body of Knowledge and the CPIM certification has been the gold standard since 1957. That was the year when APICS was started. Several thousands of professionals around the world have acquired this certification till date. APICS changed their name to ASCM, stands for Association for Supply Chain Management, in 2017, and ASCM is widely regarded as the global leader in supply chain organizational transformation, innovation, and leadership. ASCM continues to be powered by APICS brand of products. In addition to CPIM, APICS also has two other certifications, one of them being CSCP, which stands for Certified Supply Chain Professional, and the other being CLTD, stands for Certified in Logistics, Transportation and Distribution. ASCM also owns the Supply Chain Operations Reference Framework, popularly known as SCORE, S-C-O-R. Knowledge of SCORE helps transform enterprises and their supply chains. Now a little bit about who we are and what are my credentials to be putting this video out there. We are one of the chapters of ASCM. Our chapter is the ASCM Triangle Chapter. I am one of the past presidents of the chapter and currently serve as the VP of Education. We cover the Research Triangle Park, Raleigh, Greenville areas of North Carolina, and some parts of Virginia. ASCM partners and chapters are authorized to provide training on all the certifications. Now to the question, who am I? Well, I'm Suren Palekal, a supply chain practitioner and educator with 30 plus years in supply chain in several aspects of supply chain. I'm also a master instructor on APICS certifications and a supply chain educator with a global footprint. Now let me try to give you some details on CPIM. CPIM used to stand for Certified in Production and Inventory Management. CPIM content has been revised several times, and with the most recent revision in content, the importance of planning in operations management has been emphasized by changing the name of the certification to Certified in Planning and Inventory Management. It continues to be the essential body of knowledge for any operations professional. One has to pass two parts of the certification, that is parts 1 and 2. Each of those parts have 150 questions each to be completed in 3.5 hours. One has to pass both the parts within 3 years of each other to be certified. Now the question is, who are these operations professionals, or in other words, who are the professionals who stand to gain the most by getting the CPIM designation? Let me start by saying any supply chain professional could benefit by getting certified as CPIM. Getting CPIM certified will broaden one's understanding of what goes into transforming products, adding value and servicing customers. The question is how impactful or effective or beneficial it would be for an individual to be CPIM certified. I'll go over some general guidelines to decide whether or not one could benefit from CPIM certification. These are general guidelines, and the criteria I'm going to go over may have to be applied to each specific case individually before CPIM or another certification of ASCM could be deemed beneficial and impactful. If your primary responsibility is to execute tasks in an operations environment, and you spend a substantial part of your workday, say 60 to 70% and more, in doing so, with a short to medium span of time in focus, typically daily, weekly, or a few weeks out, you are the right one who could benefit a lot from CPIM education and certification. This is not to say other professionals who are engaged for more than 60 to 70% of their time in planning ahead, 6 months to a year or more, will not benefit from CPIM education and certification. In fact, they would as well. The applicability of CPIM for them depends on the level and intensity of their interaction with those that execute short-term tasks. And if the level and intensity of such interaction is more, they would certainly benefit a lot by taking the CPIM certification. If the level and intensity is rather low, they may want to take a look at the details of CSCP certification to determine what could be more beneficial to them. A separate video on CSCP is also available for your guidance. Now, when I say a substantial part of the workday spent in executing tasks, such tasks are meant to transform and deliver products to customers, doing so while meeting or exceeding the performance goals set out. Like producing the best quality the first time, meaning defect reduction. Tasks in terms of improving supply chain speed, meaning reducing lead time or cycle time. Adhering to mandated processes to ensure dependable performance day after day. Improving flexibility to mean being able to change the product mix and or volume at short notices. All these at the most optimal costs and asset utilization. And generally, professionals engaged in these activities would have their operational space, physical space where they operate, would be within the four walls of the production facility. So any professional involved in any of these aspects and spend more than 60 to 70% of their productive working time in executing tasks that help achieve any of the earlier set objectives will benefit a great deal by learning the CPIM content and getting certified. Now let's see what are some of the typical positions or job titles or functional responsibility of these people who could benefit by taking the CPIM certification. Inventory control professionals. As you may be aware, inventory is considered an asset, the right saleable inventory that is, and inventory control professionals have a task to ensure that the inventory in warehouses and other storage facilities and locations are all the right inventories that can be sold or used to build products that can be sold. Understanding the utility of inventory in transforming products and how inventory management could play a crucial role in your supply chain strategy is very important. CPIM content helps such professionals immensely. Inventory control in the warehouse. Even though the warehouse inventory leads in some companies could be a part of the logistics function, the tasks performed are more or less the same as an inventory control professional in a plant, and so they also stand to gain immensely by taking the CPIM certification. Another group of professionals who make a huge impact in many of the key performance indicators of operations are the master schedulers, production planners, buyer planners, material planners of either product lines or products, and customer service professionals who would like to be more effective in their jobs. All of them stand to gain immensely by taking the CPIM certification. And so are the business analysts, ERP, MRP analysts, continuous improvement professionals. They are the professionals constantly trying to fine-tune the operational parameters to enable and improve performance. Understanding the concepts behind operations management will help them a great deal in better performing their jobs or functions. And of course, the production leads, supervisors, line supervisors, managers, all those engaged in the day-to-day task of adding value and servicing customers. In general, I would say those engaged in tasks that transform products to deliver to specifications on time at optimal costs all should consider getting certified as CPIM. Now the most important question is, okay, I understand that APICS CPIM body of knowledge and concepts are useful for better performing my tasks, but why should I get certified? Let's try to address that question now. It's a known fact that resilience, one's ability to bounce back to normal after a disruptive event, and agility, meaning the ability to quickly meet the demand by ensuring cycle times are continually reduced, are some of the performance attributes that make supply chains thrive in today's world. and supply chains and their ecosystems are changing constantly. So becoming CPIM certified shows employers that you know how to effectively manage disruptions, demand variations, and supply chain risks. And it also shows the employers that you understand the importance of performance attributes. Continuous improvement is what gives the competitive edge to companies in an ever-changing global economy, and your knowledge and skills in effecting those improvements is also beneficial to organizations. A research study conducted in 2021 by ASCM among some 2,000 plus supply chain professionals shows a bright outlook for supply chain professionals. The survey results show wage increases and high job satisfaction reported across the profession. An interesting finding in the survey is that those who report earning at least one APICS certification have a median salary of $90,000 per year, which is 27% higher than those without a certification. In addition, 21% of those with an APICS certification and an undergraduate supply chain degree received a promotion in the last year. These are big wins for individuals. Now the question is, okay, now that I understand CPIM is hugely beneficial to me and my company, how do I prepare for the exam? There are essentially two options per se. One is a self-study option and the other is attending a class. If you would like to prepare for the exam by self-study, you are advised to take a look at the other video on CPIM that gives some tips on this option. If you are the type who would rather sit in a classroom setting and listen to a live instructor face-to-face or virtually, attending a class being offered by your chapter, to mean the chapter you are a member of, or any other chapter or partner is an option. You may be able to purchase the learning materials at much reduced rate from your chapter compared to other chapters. ASCM Triangle Chapter has an excellent pool of widely acclaimed instructors, and you can take their help to purchase the books, online learning system access, mentoring, and tuition. You can reach them at the email shown below or write to me directly. Wish you all the very best in your CPIM journey. And hey, if you have any questions down the line, shoot an email to education@triangle.ascm.org or directly to me. Thank you for visiting this channel and watching this video.